Peace in War Times. We're back with another dynamic teacher's question mark. And again, we have to check things using sound right reason. So let's get into a little bit of this information about the next brother, which is Haru Hotep, which is one of the triad of Abton Ray. When he was teaching on the land, him and two other brothers, I think one was Mentu Hotep and another was Kansu Hotep. Alright, so let's go further. See what is said by Tahaka concerning this particular topic. Alright, hold on. Alright, Dr. Amadou J. Varma, otherwise known as Haru Hotep Tar, is probably the most intelligent, knowledgeable, qualified, charismatic, and articulate students of Dr. York, born in Liberia, West Africa. Parents, Haru is rumored to have joined the movement as a young child in Brooklyn during the Ansar Allah era. Born to Liberian aristocracy, Haru Hotep was an individual responsible for linking the Nubian leader with Liberian government officials, which would later lay the foundation for York to receive the position of the West African Nations Consul General, the United States, formerly a member of the tribe of Netta Afrate Altonre. Haru formed part of what were known as the group's most elite level teachers, who being personally groomed by Dr. Malachi Z. York to be the next generation to propagate the doctrine before the Nubian leaders arrested in 2002. As accomplished orator and author of over 100 titles to his credit, Haru Hotep was the victim of a malicious slander campaign by jealous rivals and haters within the movement, which this author of this book was wrongfully helped to perpetuate, which falsely accused him of misappropriation of organization funds, which led to a sudden departure from the group. I remember that, and it is true. It is true. I think the money he took was like 6 digits. I think they said he took like $200,000-$300,000. Not only that, they said a lot of the books that York wouldn't finish that was sitting, he took those too. So I remember that specifically. Nobody just depart from an organization just because they accuse you. You took the money. He didn't misappropriate nothing. He took that bread. That's a fact. I remember that clear as day. All right. Since leaving the movement, Haru Hotep has gone on continue representing Dr. York's teaching and further distinguishing himself as one of the most important young scholars of the Nubian philosophy. Haru Hotep Tar has authored a series of his own books, including Solar Biology or Lunar Astrology, and is co-founder of his own organization, the Journey Home Group, which was the first to focus on repatriation and business ties to his followers back to the African continent. So number one, that's not really what York was about. York, before he got arrested, was talking about going to Ricks, coming back to the planet, saving it, and ruling it. All right? York did not teach about going back to Africa, because if that was the case, he would have went back and started from over there. So that's not true either. When you get deeper and further into his information, you're going to find that there are specific differences between them two. But let's keep going. Haru Hotep is also the founder and leader of the Holy Coptic Church worldwide, located at www.theholycopticchurch.org. The group fuses right knowledge with an Afrocentric Hebrew Christian to form a dynamic yet bona fide African evangelism, which is currently very popular on the African continent. Headquartered within the United States, the group has a predominantly African American former Nubian congregation and focuses its attention, and reaching a more international audience with active satellites in attention at reaching a more international audience with active Jamaican, Ghana, and Liberia, employing a similar tactic that of Archbishop Church has correctly concentrated upon educating blacks by way of the ethnicity as well as black content, which is so desperately needed, especially on the African continent. Clearly, this appears to be out of the most intelligent and best thought out shoots of the Nawabian philosophy, and probably the one best equipped to carry York's right knowledge creed to a wider audience in the future. All right, now, he said it's needed on the African continent. Him Haruhutep mixing Nawapu with Afrocentric Judeo-Christian. No, that's a lie. Again, this is why we keep telling you that York was religionist, and that's what he taught. Go to count 4 of the 9 ball, right? And look at this. It says number 62. Only way we darker people can prevent this from happening is understand that the Caucasian is Dracula and remove the darkness, ignorance in which Dracula must have to prey on his victims. 2, remove the bootlickers and crooks from power who Caucasian hand-pick the head black organizations and run puppet and parrot governments. 3, reject and outlaw in darker nations the doctrine of the dead called Christianity and Judaism, which is simply vampirism. Let's look at this again. Right? It says he started what? The Holy Coptic Church worldwide. That's Christianity. Nobody needs that. Located, and it gives you the sign to go online. The group fuses right knowledge with an Afrocentric Hebrew Christian. That's basically saying Judeo-Christian. The 9 ball specifically tells you that stuff must be outlawed. Okay? That's exactly got to be done. So that right there kills that argument. All right, so now we get into the background. Now we go over here. Let's look at this here again. This is a clearer version. The Coptic Church of the Black Messiah Journey Home Group, Bahamas branch. Again, religion is a spell. We already know this. We know religion is a spell. The Bible interpretation specifically starts off with that. All right, so him got a man on a that doesn't exist nowhere in the world. York made a version of this. There's no such thing as an unk with a man on it. Nowhere in Kemet will you find this foolishness. You won't find this foolishness nowhere. All right, let's look at some of the photos real quick. Which ones I had one into? Like, see, look at this. This is the picture that Jesus that York made in his image. Revelation 1:27. This stuff should be outlawed. This would mean that y'all don't understand information. This right here, this don't exist. Where did you ever see this at? In front of Dendera. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing. Okay? None of this stuff is reality. This is foolishness. All right, so so now we know that he was definitely being taught, and he took information from York. He took unfinished books, and he took 6 figures worth of bread. And I said it was somewhere between $200,000-$300,000, or it could have been somewhere up in there. But I do remember that. So let's go here. All right, we going to this post from Jeffrey Peterson. All right, let's make this a little bigger. And it says, let me be very clear. I have witnessed firsthand the itch in men in our Nawapian nation. I have sat back and watched us become the laughingstock of the metaphysical and religious community simply because the men, not the women, have become frauds. There are several good brothers and sisters that I know who are still around, but you won't see them participating in this radical BS. No, I don't subscribe to the Patarak or actual facts. We are at the point in Zix and YC while we are a mark of everything the master teacher stood for. No, a criminal is not my ambassador. He's talking about Dusa. And it's ironic to me that a brother can sit and eat a meal with the very man who betrayed his teacher without slapping the taste out of his mouth. But years later, you want us to believe that you love the man so damn much. I stand firm in the knowledge I have received and will never allow anyone to come in and make it appear that I'm crazy. A bunch of zombie ace Negroes that have created cliques among them who cannot function without someone holding their hands. Why do you pick people like Haru Hotep, Barnes, Al Carter, etc.? All right, let's go to the next one. The Dr. York case revisited. I recently received information from a reliable source that Dr. York had asked a family member with all the attorneys on this case why I'm still in here. Dr. York asked, according to his source, he said, I guess no one wants to help me get out. Based on the above conclusion that Dr. York, it sends a clear message that Dr. York has concluded that Liberia, Haru Hotep, Rochelle York, who was missing in action since 2007, his attorneys, past and present, his 5 clemencies, etc., etc. So this brother here also is making it known that Haru Hotep been out of the picture for a while. And he's moving along like nothing ever happened. So again, nobody's making this stuff up. Again, Taharka is a trash researcher, because if he really accepted the facts, he wouldn't have been putting, again, just because somebody can teach, that don't mean the corruptibility things that they do gives them a pass. And that's what a lot of y'all do. Y'all get stigmatized by people's way they talk and put words together, and you overlook the wrong that they do. All right, let's see here. Okay, we got that done. Hold on. All right, so this right here is in Al Carter's page, and he says, partner Bob Yanoon wife Nabat Hatat made an announcement. Baba said concerning the brother Haru Hotep that given the circumstance, he's really not a bad person, and if it wasn't for him, we would not have gotten as far as we did. Concerning Liberia, he is a man worthy of praise. Baba just wanted that to be known. And Al said up here, interesting update from partner Bab Yanoon. It said how some of the wives and Dr. York himself dogged this brother out for years because he stole money. But, you know, this will happen when you living under cult leaders and they keep everybody under them poor. So, hey, whatever. I ain't justifying it. I'm just saying that the dude is not as clean as people trying to make him. Just because they wearing nice clothes and looking all nice and clean and crispy don't mean that they are people that you can trust. And I remember when all this was going on. True men call peace in wartime.
Like, we got him really backed up against the wall. He really ain't got nowhere else to go. But that's right.
That's right. He doesn't have any scholarship, so he has to go sneak around, phoning old women and trying to get information. That, you know, dealing with the scholarship. You say you're going to debunk my book. I'm a Nigerian fraudster, yeah? So come and deal with this book. Stop trying to contact old women. Come and deal with this book. That's why I'm here.
Hey, Taharka, you can't get with the book, man.
That's all. I said, if I'm a fraud, I'm a trash researcher. Come, let's deal with the book, page for page.
This is a proper written book, bro.
That's it. Simple. I got nothing to say. What I got to say is in the book.
Yeah, salute to the book, man. This is a good written book, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?